Okay then guys, what is going on? Cloud Plays here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're inside of Starfield and Bethesda have got some interesting news coming for us due for the 17th of January, which is absolutely incredible. So many changes and improvements and we're going to break it down for you guys today. So if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And on top of that, check out our sponsor Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favourite flavour is cherry vanilla, but you guys can catch an array of flavours via the link in the description, and utilising code CLOUD will get you a cheeky discount on top of it. So what are you waiting for? Go and check them out. With that being said though, let's dive on in to some Starfield news. Now it is a positive week here in Starfield's Bethesda title, and I'm so damn excited to see what it is that they bring to the table. With next week on January the 17th, they'll be putting their biggest Starfield update yet into the Steam beta, and over 100 fixes and improvements, with a planned release date for all players 2 weeks later. And here's some of the things that you can expect. That's the tweet that we received just last night with over 700,000 views on it. This is looking quite positive. Now I'm quite liking the fact that Bethesda are using the Steam betas to kind of test the waters, knowing full well that if they just issue these updates, that it may end up breaking some things in a bigger scale. So I'm quite liking the way that they're doing this with the Steam beta usage at the moment. But this update contains a multitude of fixes to quests, Eye of the Storm issues such as being unable to dock with the legacy or data transfer not starting, and temples not showing up into the unknown will no longer prevent Constellation from exploring the cosmos. This is absolutely brilliant because we know full well that we've got so much coming in. On top of that though, we do have the additionals for this update, bringing stability improvements and numerous graphic improvements ranging from additional widescreen support to improved textures, lighting and shadows. As you can see on screen, it's a before and after, and it definitely does seem to contrast quite nicely. It has a bit more of a brighter aspect. The lighting ratio looks 10 times better, and it just kind of gives a bit more depth to the way that a character feels. I'm really hoping that runs through the entire game. Obviously we've got the character creator board here as the example, and I'm hoping that just the normal lighting scales seem to work across all of the atmosphere, not just on character facials. I think it would be something that we could really improve on. Some other fixes and improvements though include the sun disk geometry, planet rings, shadows, bulldoze objects reappearing when returning to an outpost, ship hatches marked inaccessible, and another fix for asteroids following ships. The full update notes will be posted next week with the Steam beta is released. Now, this is quite a good movement. The main reason for this is because it's finally now starting to attach to it some really big updates. Although what we do see on here are a lot of bug fixes and or otherwise, it doesn't seem that they have really altered any features as of right now. The lighting is a great improvement, and the way that we can adjust the main scale of things and everything looks really good, especially with the PC now having the widescreen support and improving the textures and stuff. It's definitely a positive motive, but I was kind of hoping for a big feature of some sort. I think that these companies that kind of fail on this degree, a lot of them just think that the updates for bug fixes and stuff like that are generally enough. Although most companies will use this to hit through one big new feature that we can have inside of the game. Especially when we have to wait so long for an update entailed, I think that a new feature per update would be something that we could really utilize inside of this, because there's so much that we've kind of got on a scale that we're not happy with this game. Even though it is exactly what it says on the tin and I do genuinely enjoy it, a new feature every so often probably wouldn't go amiss. But obviously the game is doing quite well, as an article here from VG Charts actually states that Baldur's Gate 3, Hogwarts Legacy and Starfield lead the top grossing Steam games in 2023 as far as sales go. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 was the highlighted grossing new release in 2023 on Steam. According to the estimates from the Video Game Insights, the game generated 657 million in revenue, which is absolutely incredible. Slowly followed up with Hogwarts Legacy that came in second with 341 million in revenue, and thirdly is Starfield with 235 million in revenue. Now, it is a little bit mental that Starfield managed to claim a third of what Baldur's Gate did, and Baldur's Gate, don't get me twisted, well deserved of a lot of things. I don't think that the game was all that incredible myself, and I think it was just the best of a bad bunch this year, but it's quite interesting to see how this one panned out. Hogwarts Legacy was an incredible title, and I think it was like miles beyond where Starfield is at. Although Starfield does give us exactly what we require from the game title, I think that Hogwarts Legacy was on a whole different realm, and obviously Baldur's Gate smashed it out of the park. But it is nice to know that we're sitting top 3 with Starfield as a title for the main sales that went through. How this repercussed is a little bit of an odd one. I think what we're seeing right now is a massively negative review source, and this may be down to the factor of so many people playing. So we have titles which are not making as many sales but have a really positive review. I think for me personally, that's mainly because the more people you get into the game, the less that people are going to like it. I think you have a bigger split of I do like versus I don't like, and all of that is based on hype. And we solidly believe here in this channel that hype will make you dumb, and it will make you dumb. If you overhype a game, you're going to stop looking at things that need to really be looked at. But on top of that, this report also shared the top 10 best-selling new releases in 2023 on Steam by units, and the top 2 games remain the same, as Baldur's Gate 3 and Hogwarts Legacy taking its second place. For this title though, we managed to get 6th place in the top 10 best-selling new releases in 2023, but it was overtaken by things like Overwatch 2, Lethal Company and Sons of the Forest, but did a little bit better than BattleBit Remastered and the finals. So I think it's not too bad of a placement, but realistically Starfield should take a little bit of insult on that one, with Overwatch 2 and Lethal Company taking a bit more of a primarily utilised space inside of the best-selling new releases this year. I think that Starfield has got a bright future to it, and I don't quite think we're going to see a No Man's Sky turnover with a completely different attitude towards the game, as I think that Bethesda genuinely are one of those companies that seem to think that what they do is golden, and I think that that may be by fault of Fallout and Skyrim, and them thinking that this may actually have a big impact, and they kind of look at themselves more of a legendary scale. But one thing that we're all excited for, which is really, really bad because this is essentially just a bug, but throughout that patch though, like we stated, Starfield's next update is biggest yet. You'll make asteroids stop tailgating you, and that is something that a lot of people were having issues with, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have figured out right now. There was a big problem with you being able to fly around in space with your ships and stuff like that, and having sort of like a weird string attachment to like random objects in space and or otherwise. So you were having like asteroids that were like attached to the back of your ship, just randomly flying around with you. That was a really, really big one, because I know that that was a massive problem. This overall though, we'll see exactly what comes up, but when you start looking at what it is that they fixed and what they're talking about, as much as it does look promising and the fact that this big update looks quite cool, I do also think that over 100 bug fixes and tweaks probably isn't enough to save the title as of just yet. We definitely need some new features. Bug fixes are neither here nor there, and I think that they're focusing so hard on polishing the game that the actual issue is that it doesn't meet the criteria for a lot of players, myself included, for a lot of the time. Starfield for me is one of those games that I pick up and put down, but I always keep the tabs on the news because it just genuinely intrigues me as to what it is that Bethesda are going to do with this title. Let me know what you guys are thinking via the comment section below. Are you going to be jumping back onto Starfield? Have you even stopped playing it? I think right now we're hitting that dwindle point where Starfield's making its way out, and we're going into 2024 with some new titles on its way in. One of which is Suicide Squad, that's going to be coming very, very soon. But with that being said though, that's unfortunately all we got time for today. If you got this far in the video, then make sure you go down into the comment section and comment a spanner for the fix. It'd be extremely intriguing, and I try and reply to as many of those posts as I can. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate you all, and as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.